armored car truck that was about to be robbed. So to all of those out there that might think that you're going to come out here and you're going to commit hijackings and hold these armored car drivers at gunpoint and commit murder and hurt these people who are trying to make a living, you don't know. It could be HPD SWAT team that's in that truck. And that's what happened today in our attempt to stop this and get these people in custody. We had other SWAT officers in marked patrol units and patrol support in the area. They witnessed 3 suspects in that stolen white pickup truck start to mask up as if they were about to do a robbery on the armored car that was at the Michoacana meat market down the street and the Walgreens. That's the parking lot where the armored car stopped. At that time, as our officers were getting ready to take them into custody once they exited that vehicle, they did not exit the vehicle and go after the armored car at that time, likely because the armored car drivers and our SWAT team didn't get out of the armored car. So they realized they needed to leave the area. The suspects, they tried to drive away, realized they probably were not going to be successful in their hijacking. They started to drive away from that area. Our officers followed. Those were SWAT officers in 2 marked patrol units. One of those patrol units with SWAT officers in it followed them to the back of this location where we're at now in this strip center. At that time, they tried to make the stop. Suspects were not stopping in that white stolen Ford pickup. They tried to do a pit maneuver that was unsuccessful in stopping the truck completely. 2 suspects bailed out on foot and were apprehended here in the front of the strip center. 1 suspect in that white Ford stolen truck exited the passenger side with what is an AR-15 rifle. It's on the scene here, still at the location. That suspect exited the passenger side of the vehicle with an AR-15. Shots were exchanged with our SWAT team. That suspect was struck. No officers were struck. That suspect was ultimately life-flighted from this location to Hermann Hospital, where I said previously he's in critical condition. His assault rifle is still on the scene here. Our SWAT team and SWAT medics immediately started giving first aid to this suspect until he could be transported by ambulance over to the life flight location and then left from this location. Right now, our preliminary information shows that our suspects are 3 young black males. We do not have positive identities yet. Again, 2 in custody on the scene. 1 is currently at the hospital. No officers injured, no armored car drivers injured, no citizens injured, and no successful robbery that took place. But that's exactly what was about to happen, and it's time for this to stop. It's enough. And if you think you're going to come out here and prey on innocent victims in our society, and you're going to come out here and you're going to mask up, and you're going to get rifles, and you're going to steal somebody's car that they need to go to work and support their family, and you're going to come out here and you're going to hijack an armored car, well, we have news for you today. Today, that armored car had SWAT officers inside of it. And some of these armored car companies are taking more progressive and proactive measures. They're hiring officers to follow their routes. These armored car robberies are going to stop. The Houston Police Department was on top of this one today. We don't like any incident to end with any injury whatsoever to anybody, citizen, suspect, officer, anyone. And of course, any loss of life is tragic. I'm sure that the medics at the hospital and the doctors are doing everything they can right now for that suspect that's in critical condition. But today, they were not able to harm anybody driving that armored truck. They weren't able to harm any other citizens with these violent felony carjackings, robberies, and stealing people's livelihood. It's absolutely ridiculous. We're not going to put up with it, and we are going to stay on top of this every step to make sure that we keep these people in custody. Before you ask, let me tell you ahead of time, it is too early in our investigation for us to know if these suspects were involved in the armored car hijacking that occurred about a week ago that resulted in a murder. We don't know that at this point. We have had more than just one crew doing this type of crime in the city, and that's why we're dedicating the resources to it that we are. That's why Chief Acevedo is sending a strong message to this community that this will stop. The Houston Police Department will be on top of it, and the SWAT team will be on top of it, our investigators will be on top of it, and every resource we can put on it. to make sure we put an end to this. With that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Well, how many other armored car robberies have you guys had lately?
I don't have that off the top of my head, but as you've known, for the last couple years, we've had several, and it's obviously a problem. It's something that we take very seriously. I mean, you always know there's a gun in play, right? With a crime like that, the armored car, right? Those drivers are armed, and then these violent suspects. There's so much potential for loss of life in those situations. It's ridiculous. It needs to stop.
FBI keeps that stat.
Was there a specific thing about this armored truck that you guys knew that these guys were going to target this armored truck, or was this one of several?
Not specifically. Not specifically. But we've been working our investigation for quite some time to monitor multiple trucks, you know, to have officers in the area on surveillance when they're going through their routes to see if we see something like this about to happen, identify a stolen vehicle that might have suspects inside. Then obviously when you see them masking up, getting ready to commit a felony, then you know what's about to happen.
So how recently have you been ramping up these efforts, to specifically look at the armored car?
For several months.
Several months now.
Mhm.
And how old were these suspects?
I don't know right now, so I mean, any guess on their age would be preliminary, but appear to be young males.
But they're now minors.
Don't know that.
When
Don't know
did
that.
they steal the pickup?
I don't have the exact time in which they stole the pickup, but I'm sure we'll find that out in our follow-up investigation.
I'm sorry, and where did that area, where did it come from?
That I don't know. Don't know as we stand here, no.
Was the AR-15 the only weapon that they had, or they had more weapons?
That's the only weapon that's visible right now outside the truck on the scene, where that suspect ultimately dropped that weapon after being shot. But it'll take us a while to process the scene, process that truck, any other vehicles that we find that might be involved in this, that they might have been in previously before the stolen white truck. So there could be other weapons, we just don't know at this point.
This armored car, the ethnicity of them, can you share? Hispanics?
Yeah, I think it's 3 young black males. That's what we have right now.
This armored truck, was it making an actual drop, or was that there specifically to have SWAT officers in it in case it got it?
No, they were on their route, right? SWAT officers got in case there was going to be an attempted robbery like this. SWAT officers got in. Ultimately, what these suspects have done in the past is wait till a driver gets out and then make your attempt to do the robbery. Obviously, nobody got out. Nobody got out, taking away that opportunity for them to do that and commit this felony. Then when they decided to leave the location after being masked up and being armed, that's when our SWAT officers in marked units attempted to stop them, ultimately resulting in the scene that we have in this strip center behind us, which was the officer-involved shooting.
So was the armored truck driver in the vehicle when SWAT?
Yes, yes. Their personnel were there as well. Their personnel were there as well. I'm sorry?
Were the SWAT officers undercover?
No, the SWAT officers were in their SWAT gear.
How many SWAT officers were in the armor?
We've had numerous SWAT officers out here today. I don't know the exact number.
When you say masking up, can you give us any?
We had 2 in the truck, but in the area we've had multiple officers today. Ma'am?
Sorry, when you say masking up, can you give us any detail as to what they were wearing?
Putting on ski masks. Putting on ski masks,
And how are you
which are at the
confident-
scene.
How are you confident they weren't going to rob that truck? The armored truck.
Okay, well, I think that speaks for itself. I think I've covered that in great detail.
How unorthodox is placing officers inside a truck like this to prevent a crime like this? I mean, is this a tactic that other police departments have used, or is this something unique to the Houston Police Department?
I don't know if other police departments have, but I'll tell you this, the Houston Police Department is going to do everything possible to stop this, and we did stop a robbery today.
Were there many witnesses? I mean, we know this is a busy area out here, but can you talk to many?
That'll be part of the follow-up investigation while our investigators are out here for the next several hours. Obviously, this will be a joint investigation with us. Harris County District Attorney's Office has their representative on scene. And then, of course, Houston Forensic Science Center and our partners there will be out here processing the scene for the next several hours.
But the truck wasn't stolen in this area, was it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You
Okay,
said you've been doing this investigation for a while. You know if these 3 are part of a bigger crew, or?
Don't know that yet. Like I mentioned, I don't know if they're part of the robbery that happened about a week ago of the armored car that resulted in the driver being shot and murdered. We don't know that yet. It's just too early to tell.
Did you
So
mention?
apparently nobody was captured from last week. Was the car ever found? The car
We don't have anybody in custody or charged on that crime yet. Yeah. Okay.
You mentioned Michoacana and Walgreens. Anybody that saw anything in the, or it was, which was it, the Walgreens
Two-
or the Michoacana?
It was in that parking lot. It was in that
One
parking
on
lot. So don't know yet about number of witnesses, but our investigators will follow up and determine any witnesses that are out there and get proper statements. Okay.
To clarify,
Anything else?
A little fuzzy right here. Officers were following the white pickup truck, the stolen pickup truck containing the suspects, and then spotted that they were in the vicinity of a armored car truck.
No, they were stopped right where the armored car was, masking up, getting ready to rob it.
Right, but I'm asking about how you were tailing the white
The,
pickup truck.
the stolen truck, yes,
Stolen truck.
and officers in the armored car.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you,
Okay.
Chief.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Okay. Hey guys, just a clarification. Since we're in Fort Bend, the Fort Bend County District Attorney's Office is actually the one partnering with us on the follow-up for the OIS. You know, we always have somebody from the DA's office, but this will be Fort Bend County DA. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.